Alright guys, today we're going to be upgrading the PS4 hard drive, and what you're going to want to do first is make sure you disconnect all cables located in the back of the PS4, including the power cable, and make sure that in order to save the other hard drive and not corrupt it, make sure you fully power off the PS4. And then what we are going to do next is we're going to take this panel here, if you can see it. Sorry about the camera angle, that's weird. Right, so you're going to take this panel here and just kind of push it off like that. And it's going to do that. And then, if it'll come off, there we go. So that's just going to come off like that. It's this plastic piece that slides in this direction. And then the hard drive is located right where you can't see it, so give me 1 second. There we go. Right, so the hard drive is located right here. We're going to need a couple of screws. This is going to be your standard size Phillips screwdriver. You're just going to take this, and there's going to be a single screw right here. This is the only thing holding in the hard drive. So, we're going to unscrew that. You don't have to worry about the star-shaped screws. That's just going to slide out. Let me zoom in a little bit more for you here, guys. That's just going to slide out like this. See? And there's the hard drive. Now, there's also going to be some screws on the sides here. As you can see here. There's going to be one on each side. All you got to do is unscrew those on each side. Make sure you do not strip them or lose them, because you're going to need them. Damn it. Or hit them with your PS4, because you're going to need them to reattach to the new hard drive. And guys, make sure when you're ordering a hard drive that it is compatible with the PS4, because there is a forum that says some are and some are not. And make sure it's 2.5 millimeters. If it's 3.5 millimeters, I heard they have an adaptation kit for that now, but that's going to cost extra money. And if you're like me and you're broke as hell, that's not an option. And apparently they actually have a default Samsung drive in this, which I did not know. I actually ordered a WD. Anyway, that's going to slide out of the tray, right like that. You're going to have this hard drive. You can get a conversion kit on Amazon that'll actually turn this into an external hard drive. I mean, come on guys, this is still a 500 gigabyte drive, don't waste it. And we're going to insert the new drive here. This is a WD 1 terabyte drive, $60 on Amazon. It's the same size drive, if you look at the comparison here. Same size drive. And it's going to be the same process. You're going to want to slide it in. And it's going to go face down in the tray. Your new drive is going to go in this direction. Make sure you do not force in the pins the wrong way. If you do that, you're going to fuck up your PS4, you're going to be pissed off, and it's going to cost way more than a new hard drive to fix it. So make sure you look at the slots inside of this tray before you try to force this in. So now all you have to do is take your screws, these black screws, and just screw them into the new hard drive. Do this until it's tight. And we're going to insert the new drive, which slides in really easily. And the drive should line up with this silver screw. Sorry, I know the camera kind of sucks. But it should line up with the silver screw still. If it doesn't, again, you probably have the wrong drive. And if it doesn't fit in the tray at all, you probably have a 3.5 millimeter, which are considerably bigger and will make a difference. in the tray. Alright, so the PS4 screw is back in place. The drive fits snugly, as you can see, lined up with the hole nicely. The drive is in place, make sure it's pushed in all the way. Put the cover back on. And this might take some finagling per se. So it's kind of awkward getting. Oh, there we go. Make sure that's snapped back on. And again, I would highly recommend wiping the drive and simply getting one of those conversion kits, because again, you can use it for, well, just about anything. You can plug it into a Mac, you can plug it into a PC, and basically format it and use it as an external hard drive. And that's an extra 500 gigabytes of space. You're literally holding in your hand basically a large flash drive, or even an external hard drive, I guess you would call it, since it has a disk in it. Alright, so now that that's done, I will be back when I have this plugged back in. Alright, so we've gotten to this screen, and I skipped a couple of steps. For one, you're going to need to download the updated PS4 software off of the internet, which I'll put the link in the description below, and put it on a flash drive that's been formatted for master boot record and exFAT, or EXFAT, otherwise it won't recognize it. And it's going to give you a couple warnings, such as all users and all data will be deleted, but it doesn't really matter because there's nothing on this hard drive, so you just hit yes. So basically it's going to read the USB and install the software. And prior to all this, you're going to want to make sure you already backed up your prior hard drive. And in order to do that, I had to use my 1 terabyte external hard drive because I actually, well, I don't know about you, you might have a big enough flash drive if it's a new PS4. But my PS4 already had a ton of games installed on it, which is why I actually got this terabyte hard drive versus the 500 that comes installed. So if you're smart, you're just going to want to buy the terabyte edition of the PS4, which I believe that's available now for the Ultimate Edition. Or if you're feeling ambitious, just get a regular one and install the hard drive yourself, because it is actually supported by PlayStation. Or you could be even more ambitious and get a 2 terabyte, because I'm sure eventually I'm going to run out of space again and I'll be back in the same position. So it just finished installing the software, and it's restarting. And it's probably going to have to install a couple other things because this is a new hard drive. Of course. So I'm going to come back when this is finished. No one needs to watch a loading screen. Alright, so it just finished with that update and it's restarting again. And it only took about probably 4 or 5 minutes. It wasn't a lengthy process. Like the PS3, where it seemed to take its time about everything, which I don't know why that is. Probably slower processor, or it could have just been my internet. I don't know. No one knows for sure. Technology is a gift and a curse. Alright. So it's going to take you through all this, like first time setup, how to use the controller, because it thinks you've never even used the PS4 before because it's a brand new hard drive. So, there we go. And you're going to have to set up your internet connection. And I will do that and get back to you as soon as I'm through setting up the PS4. Alright, so everything's set up. I logged back into my PlayStation, no problem. The Wi-Fi is connected. That's a disc I have in that I actually forgot I left in there. But the important fact is I now have 861.3 gigabytes because apparently the PlayStation takes up 43.47. Or that could be the game, I guess, too. I don't know why it saves that data. But no matter. So you're going to have probably closer to about 900 or so without the disc in. Again, I don't know why it saved the data for that particular application. Probably because I never took the disc out. Fun facts, I guess. And in order to restore a backup to your PlayStation, that's going to be, let's see here, that's going to be under System, Backup and Restore, and then you're going to connect the USB device you either backed up your saves on, if you have good internet and actually want to download all your applications again, because it did take about 6 hours to back up the 300 or so gigabytes of storage I had on here. But the choice is really yours. If you only have a small flash drive, it's only about, I only had about 3 gigs of saved data. It was the applications that took up most of it. So you're just going to come here, go to Restore, plug in your USB or external drive, and again, make sure you have it formatted in XFAT or EXFAT or XFAT or whatever you call it. And make sure if you're using a Mac, if you're using a PC, I don't think it really matters. It'll probably automatically do it, because that's the normal PC format. But if you're on a Mac, make sure it's set to Master Boot Record in the second drop-down menu. Otherwise, it's not going to recognize it, because I actually had this issue the first time I tried backing everything up. And that's really about it. I'm going to back up my data, and no one really wants to see that. And I'm going to end the video here. So if anyone has any questions, either private message me or put it in the comments below. And just let me know how I'm doing, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.